So we recorded odniramaT, and then you press your reverse and you press
Tamarindo.
You know, that's
Yeah, it was a good trip.
Hi, this is Alvin Rowe. Today I'm with Tarta Relena. Hello.
hello.
I wanted to start by trying to get to the beginning of Tarta Relena, and I know that you were studying together and singing in a choir, but I wanted to understand how did it start that you decided to sing together, the two of you, and how did you pick this repertoire, this kind of music? How did it all start?
As you said, we were singing in a choir, and also we were friends since we were little kids. So when we started singing in a choir, each one of us kind of felt like discovering the voice, each voice. And then when we were spending time together as friends, we simply started trying the songs we were singing in the choir, like as we were super engaged with the singing thing. And then we discovered how our two voices sounded together, and it was like also a discovery, like, okay, something happens when we sing together. There is something about the frequencies and stuff that makes something special. So that was like the first seed of the project.
And then when did you start to create something your own and then you felt like recording or playing for a show, the two of you?
We did flirt with different repertoire, and we tried different genres, and we also we put ourselves into different music styles, but it was a kind of a feeling where some things didn't really work out, so we decided to keep trying. And one day, because we obviously, like everybody, like many different music, so we were kind of trying different things. And once we tried this kind of sounds, and then it felt right for our voices and it felt right for the sound we were looking for, and we had this intuition that it was interesting for us to sing this kind of melodies, this kind of scales. And so we had the intuition that we had to pick the repertoire in that kind of genre.
Okay.
Yeah. And also we came across a song from Corsica that I think it also blew our minds, that we had like this simple mindset that thought that like melodies and monody can be folklore and popular music, like oral traditional music, and the polyphony and the complex music is like scholar and is like what is classical music, and that's what we were singing in the choir. But we found this particular tota pulcra polyphony, but there's a lot of religious polyphony from oral tradition in many places of Mediterranean, and it was super beautiful to find this complexity, this harmonic complexity, and this beautiful arrangement for two voices in this case, but it was not made
In academic.
Yes, it was it had like this vibe of years and years of being sung in a chapel, and there's
Transmitted to the people.
Yes, there was something about that was very important for us, for creating then our repertoire.
I was wondering if for you is a practice that is written and composed and then you sing it, or if it's also for you more like in the oral tradition way that you sing together and harmonize and then it becomes the piece.
It really depends on the song. So we can come across some traditional melodies that we just hear and then we are kind of possessed by the beauty of it or something, and also because it has survived many centuries. So it's like, wow, this is here and it has been here for a long time, let's keep it going. So we like it, and then we try to learn that song, dress it with our sound, and then do our own version. But it can also happen that it's only the text, for example, that we see a beautiful text or a beautiful poem or some little verse that we have heard from another song, and then we put another melody into it. It can also be the case that we just create melody and text from scratch, and then with these different elements we combine. So each song, it's a little bit of its own project.
Yeah.
And it has different elements that we play with.
Yeah, but it is true that I think that between us we always show to the other something that's not put to the end. Like it's always like
unfinished.
Unfinished
idea.
Something, and then together we
I was curious to know how it works, if you find the text or if you find the music, how you... Do you maybe want to do an example of like one song, how the process was? I was thinking either Mille risposte or Si Veriash alla Rana.
Okay.
But
Well, now I'm thinking there's like an opposite case. For example, Ambrosias, which is the opening of the album. We found the text because it's a poem by Sappho of Lesbos, and well, that has been written for many centuries and has been edited and has been revisited, and then we put music into that poem, which has old words, and then, for example, in Si Veriash alla Rana, it's a melody that has been sung for a long time in the Sephardic tradition, but we didn't really understand what the lyrics meant.
Yeah, or we didn't
Connect
with this in this album.
in which tradition you said?
Sephardic.
Okay, where is that?
The Sephardic are the Jewish communities that used to live in Spain,
Okay.
but then they were expelled from the peninsula because of the Catholic kings, and so they went away and they moved to Greece and Turkey, and they established their communities there, which means that then they blended with Greek and Turkish traditions, but still they kept their own songs that are in Old Spanish, which is very similar to Spanish, but it has some words from here and there because that's where they kind of lived, and so they pick little elements from everywhere they've been. And
there's still a lot of music being sung from this community.
And it feels like you have a time tunnel through the medieval ages where they used to speak this language and the topics they talk about, you know? So it's like you are transported to the 15th century immediately.
But so in this case, then you rewrote the text.
Yes. To talk about a story that matched the whole theme of the album. But we wrote it in Sephardic, in this Old Spanish. So we needed to ask to people that know this.
So we kept the language, we kept the melody, we kept the first verse, and then we changed the lyrics of the first.
Yeah, because it's the title of the song, so you can go to other versions of this melody because it's called the same, but then the whole text is different.
Yeah, so if you Google this, then you get all the different versions of the songs, from many different groups that have played that song and recorded that song, and then you can hear the same melody but in different.
Are you into Twin Peaks by any chance?
Yes. Yes.
I thought so, because in the song Tamarindo, I think you do something similar to the way they speak in the Black Lodge, right?
Yeah.
So is it, if I understand correctly, Tamarindo, you sing it backwards? No, you sing it in the syllables in the opposite order and then it's reversed?
Yeah, we sang the whole song backwards.
Well, so we first recorded the song in the normal order, okay?
We sang Tamarindo. We composed Tamarindo, the song.
And then we sang it, blah, 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 blah. And then we took this, well, no, we didn't do it on purpose. It happened by chance. One day we were in the studio and then we pressed the R button and then the whole track reversed. And so we were in the studio and we wanted to hear what we just recorded. And then we pressed play and it started
appeared.
going backwards and we said, what is that? And then we had that beautiful melody from the other dimension, which is the reverse dimension.
Okay.
And we said, wow, this is great. So we decided to learn the reverse melody,
Okay.
right? With the reverse lyrics. So we also
yeah.
decided, okay, we studied. Then we studied and we recorded the reverse thing, which means that when you reverse it again,
You have the melody,
understandable melody,
but with the Twin Peaks effect.
Yeah, but also the words are.
Yeah, because we sang the whole what we listened from the
Reverse
melody
track?
reversed. We learned it as it was a language that we don't know, but we have to sing it. You know, like
Yeah.
we learn these words.
yeah.
that
So we recorded odniramaT, and then you reverse and you press
Tamarindo.
You know, that's
Yeah, it was a good trip.
And then the other, like odniramaT, is
It's like
same
the,
melody but reverse and
Yes.
different words.
Yeah, no, it's
It's also the same
Tamarindo,
words, okay.
Yeah.
Tamarindo reversed, but this we sing it normal wise.
yeah.
Okay.
It's never reversed.
And live you also sing it backwards, right?
Yeah, in fact we have only sang Tamarindo in a normal way the first day at the studio.
Okay.
After this, we've always sang odniramaT and then reversed.
So we reverse live. I mean, we record Tamarindo and we play. Pardon. We sing odniramaT and then we play Tamarindo.
The reversed, yeah.
Planté un árbol, semilla de tamarindo, está junto al pozo.
What I wanted to ask next is about the sound of your music, because of the first EP and album it was almost only your vocals, and then you asked some people to remix it, but then on És Pregunta it's already much fuller with productions and arrangements. Is this something that you learned along the years and you just like to do and to add, or was it just a different direction that you wanted to go to with the last album, or how did this happen to get to the sound of the last record?
I think it's been happening gradually, that we are also in the way we are imagining our sound, we feel like we want to try, I don't know, one specific space. For example, we want to play with nature sound and get inside a storm and then bring a thunder in there or something. And it happens a little bit the same with the different arrangements. We want to create more tension here. We need some voices that are shouting certain notes, and then we play with that. That I think on the first EPs, also the songs were thought in a super minimalistic way, in the sense that the power was just the presence of the two voices. And now in És Pregunta, I think the power is in the sound ideas that we get from, or that we want to express in every song, because we want to create different spaces and different environments where the voices are placed, let's say. And so it just happens naturally. Also, sometimes what we have is we try to think about a production, or we think, oh, here we have to put this sound or this other sound, and we try it and it doesn't work. And then we have to go backwards and just keep the two melodies simple, because it was already working. You know, when you try to put too many things onto something and then you just say, okay, it doesn't work anymore. and then we have to go backwards. So this is always the base, the baseline of the project, and it's also very nice, and it works very well when we go that way.
Yeah, in fact, we start the production with the arrangement of the two voices, and we try to make it work with only the two voices. But then we like to play with other ingredients as we can, and also like to think about the experience of the album as a whole travel, so you can feel a lot of things going from one song to the other, so you can go to emptiness and to full chaos in these 40 minutes of music.
I also find quite impressive or inspiring that your project is quite singular. It also puts together two things that per se are like experimental music or traditional vocal music, to things that are very far away, but then together they work very well. And I think it's also inspiring how successful that was. And I think it's I just saw you playing like in beautiful stages, great platforms. I was just wondering if, looking back at the last few years, there was a particular milestone or that I don't know, that was very special for you, or something that maybe surprised you, or a special moment that you didn't expect.
Well, the whole career we didn't really expect, because we never started with that aim. We just wanted to make music because we were friends, and then the rest of it started coming, and we were also surprised in the fact that in some venues that are not used to listen to that type of music, they were suddenly listening to that type of music. For example, in a hall where they only play rock and punk, and then we were there, and that was also surprising for us. But I don't know, there's something catchy in the fact of listening to our two voices that people and the audience collaborates a lot with their attention and their silence. And this is something that we've been experiencing from the beginning, right? So we had that kind of security that we could do concerts in many different venues and places. And then that has been going on. I mean, we have had very good opportunities, which might have happened by luck.
But also we were ready to
take them, and we've worked hard to take out the most of these opportunities. So it's a kind of a balance of surprise. You have this opportunity now, and then the mindset of, okay, we have to work hard and give our best to be there.
Yeah, and I don't know. I cannot think of one.
Well, the tiny desk.
Yeah, it's like the what we have to say, no? But
yes.
Well, it's crazy that we have a tiny desk, and when we knew that we could be singing there, it was like, what the fuck? But okay, I take it.
Yes, we take it. Yeah.
So it's that vibe all the time.
Yes.
L'espai entre nosaltres que ens separa l'un de l'altre em nega com l'onada. Quan se'm passa les barques em nega com l'onada. Quan se'm passa les barques, ai, agafa'm, ai, abraça'm, ai, tingue'm a la vora. Que aquesta pena meva se m'emporta i deixa sola. Que aquesta pena meva se m'emporta i deixa sola.